Hi, it's Kristen. For this month's Teen Craft, we'll be making sour candy lip gloss. All you are going to need is something to protect your work area, because this does stain, 2 bowls, some hot water, and some cold water. Now this does contain coconut oil, so if you have allergies, probably best to give this one a pass. Otherwise, make sure to register online and keep watching to learn how to make your smile taste straight out of the Sour Patch.
What we're going to do is we're going to put down a towel or some napkins just because this is going to be wet, so you don't want to accidentally spill. You ready for that? Then we're going to lay out a spoon in a bowl. We're going to have our smaller bowl. Here is our coconut oil and our drink mix. Have our popsicle stick, and then I have a container of cold water and a container of warm water. The first thing you're going to want to do is take your solid coconut oil and you're just going to put it into this smaller container. Smear that around. Notice even though it's called oil, it's still pretty pasty. So what we're going to do is put it in our cereal size bowl. We're going to add a little bit of hot water to soften it up. Now, I put hot water in this coffee pot so it would stay warm while I set up. But you could just easily microwave it in a mug, or if you've got a Keurig, forgot to open it. Keurig, or even heat up a little hot water on the stove top. And you're just going to pour a little bit in. You don't want to fill it. You want just enough so when you sink the bowl in here, it comes up to the sides. Here we go. We do this part first because when we're doing all the other steps, it gives the coconut oil some time to melt down. Now we don't want this to be liquid. We want it to be almost like a frosting type consistency when we use it. So I'm just going to keep half an eye on it while we do everything else. We're going to take the cup the coconut oil came in. And I want to stress, do not use this cup to put in the hot water because this will melt. And you don't want that in your mouth. You don't want hot plastic burning you. So we're just going to use this as our mixing cup. I'm going to use my napkin to wipe off my hands because coconut oil is a little greasy. Just going to rip open our drink mix packet. And to start with, only pour about half of it in. Because it's very strong. I mean, this is designed to make enough drink to fill up an entire bottle like that. So you don't want to put all in at once. And then just a little bit at a time, we're going to add cold water. You can do that with a spoon. I have a straw. I'm sure at some point in your life you've all done this where you just put your finger over the top of the straw to pull water out and squirt it at your friends. This time we're going to lift it out and just add 2 or 3 at a time down here. So you see it's not a lot of water. You don't want it to be liquid. You just want enough so that when you mix this, it turns into a paste and you get a bright color. I'm going to add a little bit more water because mine's still a little gritty. Go slow with this because it's always easier to add more water. Once you've added too much water, you can't take it back. And I think I might have just done that. It's okay. I'm going to mix mine up here. So you get that in so it's all nice and blended as best you can make it. See, it's still kind of pasty. So you want to get that. It's going to be really dark. We actually want it really dark because when this goes on the lip gloss, it's going to make your lips nice and red or nice and purple, whatever color you want to use. The cool thing about this is once you know how to make it, you can make this with any kind of drink mix. So if you want your lips to be bright purple or bright green, you can get that sour apple Kool-Aid or the purple Hawaiian punch. Use that instead. I'm going to check in on my coconut oil now. Maybe that's just kind of mush it around. You see, it's hard to see, but there's a little liquid in the bottom from where it's been melting. Let that get a little bit mushier. Like I said, it should be like a frosting or a mayonnaise consistency, like spreadable, but not pourable. There we go. See, it doesn't take very long when you do it this way. So now it's kind of liquidy, but also kind of mushy. And we're just going to add that in just one small spoonful at a time. You want to do this, again, slow, because if you add too much, you can't take it back. So I'm just going to mix this in. You see now, because we pre-mixed it, it's staying nice and bright red. If we hadn't pre-mixed the powder, it wouldn't have mixed as good, and it would have been kind of pastel with these big grainy bits in it, almost like Pop Rocks. Which is nice if you like Pop Rocks, but not so nice if you want lip gloss. I'm going to pour the rest of that in and mix it up. It's really bright now. So once it's good and mixed and you think you've got all your stuff mixed in, that is when you're going to take out your little lip gloss containers. You're going to unscrew it. And using that popsicle stick. I tried this earlier with a spoon and it just made a mess, but a popsicle stick keeps it from going all over the place. And you can just sort of scoop it in there without it getting everywhere and making a mess and making your parents upset because you've stained their table bright tropical punch red. And just scrape down the sides right in there. Now obviously this looks really mushy. You're not going to want that on your lips right away. But you saw what the coconut oil looked like before we melted it. That's what it's going to turn back into when we let it set. So to get it to set, just going to put the lid on, seal it up tight, so it doesn't get everywhere. Twists nice and tight, and you just let it set. Now, if you're a little impatient like me, you can just put this in the fridge for like 1 or 2 hours. Time it. Don't forget about it in there because I waited too long once and it didn't unharden. So 1 or 2 hours if you want to speed it up in the fridge, and then just take it out and let it come to room temperature. And once it's room temperature, I'm going to bring you back on this and show you what it's going to look like. Okay, and we're back. You see our lip gloss is nice and solid now. Tap, tap, tap. So whenever you want to use that, just open it up, put a little bit of that in there, and just smack that right on your lips. That is very sour. As you can see here, this is why we put down the towel. Got a little stain there, but not on the table, so I'm not in trouble. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself, I only used half a container of fruit punch to make this. What do I do with the other half? Well, that water we used earlier, cold water, just put the rest of your fruit punch mix in there. You got a beverage, you got a craft, you got everything you need. If you want to make this, go ahead and sign up online. Registration is limited, so get in quick. Thanks. Have a great day.